Hello, my name is Bree. I am 21 years old and a junior at Missouri State University studying fashion merchandising and fashion design. And I'm here to give you tips from a fashion student. So, are you thinking about going into the fashion industry, or are you kind of dipping your toes in the water? Whether you're in college already, or you're a senior about to graduate, or you're just bored, I'm here to give you some hot tips from my personal experience. So for my first piece of advice, it's where should I study? This is a great question. It's something that I kind of really toyed with because I came from Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, and I am now currently in Springfield, Missouri studying, which may not be the epicenter of high fashion, but that is okay. There are a lot of really wonderful schools in New York, California, other big cities that you could look into studying. But there's also a lot of universities around the country that offer fashion programs that are maybe a little bit smaller, a little bit more specialized. I would definitely just recommend doing research and kind of contacting people with what you're wanting to do, because a lot of times there's either an advisor or someone who is with the university who is super willing to talk to you and answer your questions. Going to a really expensive school is awesome, great, and I know it can build up a really great resume and portfolio, but you can also get a lot out of going to a different school because it's mostly about what you learn, how you apply it, and kind of building up your portfolio. Another part of the equation is, should I go to school? Especially for fashion design, my advice would be to at least look into going to school. As a designer, I found that school is really a great way to kind of push your creativity and kind of learn more and have a broad mindset, but it's not necessary to become a fashion designer. And so my second piece of advice, what should I do? Every school is a little bit different, but at Missouri State we have 2 degree options. There's fashion merchandising and management and fashion design and product development. I am doing a double major, which means that I'm kind of doing all the classes that intersect, but also specific classes. So when it comes to fashion design, some people might think this, it could also be this. It just kind of depends. There's a lot of different variety and skills that go into fashion design, from the more like technical design aspects of it to more creative, here's a dress form, make something on it. With our degree, we kind of learn a big variety of both. We do the flat pattern, which is all the math and all of that, and we also do draping, which is the more creative free flow of it. So if you are very hands-on, design is wonderful. I always kind of like being hands-on, and I never really knew how to channel that until I did design. It's a very good mixture of a tactical problem, you have something to make, but also it's a lot more creative, like, do I want a pocket here or do I want a pocket there? Another thing with fashion design is to not be scared if you don't have machine knowledge. Most of the time they will teach it to you there. Most of the time it's pretty easy to catch up on. I came in using the oldest sewing machine ever, didn't know anything about it, only knew how to do a straight seam. I learned the industrial machines and was able to actually work them, so you're not expected to know, but you'll learn. Another thing is for design is it's so important to have a drive to want to make and be creative, to put in a little bit extra work outside of class, to put a little bit of heart into your projects, because it's really going to show. And it's also very important to not come in with this like idea of what you're going to make, because a lot of times the first things you make will not be great. They might be good, but you're not going to start off making like couture work. It's going to be something that you're built up on, and they expect that for you. So that's kind of the more design side. It's very creative, but it's also very hands-on, and you'll still have to like take in elements of like math and geometry and all that fun stuff. There's also merchandising and product development. This is the more kind of business side of it. So you're going to be doing a lot more number crunching and all of that fun stuff. With merchandising, you've got this side and you've got this side and this side. There's just a lot that you can do. I know I've taken a variety of classes from math, like merchandising math, that would go into like retail buying. It's not just going to a market and buying stuff that you think is cute. There's a lot of research that goes into it. We've also done visual merchandising, like floor layouts, and we've learned Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. The biggest part of merchandising is definitely the effort that you put in because if you do work half-assed, it's going to show. While you're not going to be maybe in the midst of the like fashion industry that you see in like Devil Wears Prada with Miranda Priestly, you're still going to have employers that are going to be able to tell how much you want that job. And with merchandising, you're not going to be just totally like in a cubicle. You're still going to be creative for most aspects of it. You're still going to be doing, like I said, the floor plans and the different layouts and creating ideas for stores. So you'll still get to be artsy and creative, but it's just kind of in a little bit of a different way than as if it was design. And number 3, my last biggest piece of advice is that attitude is everything. Just keeping a good mindset and kind of wanting to drive forward. You have to kind of let go of the details, but employers really want those good attitudes. If you show that willingness to learn and kind of like grow with them, they're going to really want you for that internship or for that job opportunity. And also just keeping like a good reputation is very good too, because people will talk, especially if you're in one of the bigger metropolitan areas. Everyone will talk to each other. And if one person gives you a glowing review, who knows where that could take you. Even though attitude is very important, knowledge is still important, so pay attention to your classes if you take them, or if you're not in classes, make sure that you're keeping up with what trends are happening. There's a lot of free resources online like WGSN.com, which is about trend forecasting. And to end this off, there is a place for everybody in the fashion industry. Don't think that like just because you look a certain way, you're not going to be able to fit in or be able to work it. It's so not true. It's becoming a lot more open, and it might be harder for some people than others, but you still have a place. There's a place for you, and your voice is to be heard. So don't let what you see in media or online deter you from the fashion industry. It's not all hard asses. It's some very beautiful people and very creative people too. Those are my tips from a fashion student. I hope that watching this video has been able to help you out a little bit. Maybe you can determine if this is right for you or if it's not. If you want, I have a portfolio. It's brieswanson.com, and you can shoot me messages on there to kind of get an idea of my projects that I've done. Or if you want to follow me on social media, it's at Brie of the Swans.